In a city called San Francisco, deep underground, there's an intense robot wrestling ring built around high-stakes betting. The competition is so fierce that the red-haired girl's robot is just about to win, until suddenly, the defeated robot rises and uses a powerful saw to snatch victory. The owner of the winning robot, a man named Yama, boldly challenges the crowd, "Is there no one else?" That's when a 14-year-old boy named Hiro steps forward with a tiny robot of his own, one he designed and built himself because he's a genius in science. Hiro accepts the challenge. The match begins, and in seconds, Yama's robot wins the first round. But in a second, higher-stakes round, Hiro's robot pulls off a surprise win by disassembling into tiny pieces that surround and destroy the opponent. Angry, Yama orders his men to attack Hiro, but Hiro's older brother Tadashi arrives just in time and saves him. While trying to escape, the police show up and arrest them. Since their parents died when Hiro was only 3 years old, their aunt, Cass, comes to the police station and takes them home. At home, Hiro receives a message about a new robot battle, but his older brother Tadashi is clearly unhappy about his involvement in such illegal fights. One day, Tadashi takes Hiro to the science university where he studies. As soon as Hiro steps inside, he's blown away by the level of technology and innovation. He realizes there's so much to learn there. Tadashi introduces Hiro to his university friends, each of whom is working on their own unique invention, and they demonstrate their creations. Then, Tadashi shows Hiro his own invention. He pulls out a medical patch, sticks it on Hiro's arm, and rips it off quickly. Hiro winces and says, "Ouch." His arm turns red. Suddenly, a robot activates and walks toward Hiro. The robot is Tadashi's invention, Baymax, a medical robot programmed to activate whenever someone expresses pain. Baymax walks up to Hiro and introduces himself as a personal healthcare companion. He begins diagnosing Hiro's pain and offering treatment options. Hiro is amazed by his brother's invention. Tadashi explains that Baymax has a medical database with over 10,000 procedures and treatments, all stored on a chip embedded in his chest. Just then, Professor Robert, the head of the university's science department, walks in and greets Hiro. When he sees Hiro's small magnetic robot, he offers him the chance to apply to the university. But Tadashi tells Robert that Hiro's head is full of fighting robots and that he's not serious about science. However, the visit to the university changes something inside Hiro. He's no longer interested in underground robot battles. He wants to join the university. Back at home, Tadashi tells Hiro there's one way to get in. Each year, the university holds an inventor showcase where applicants must present an extraordinary invention. If Hiro wants to get accepted, he must create something so impressive that no one can say a word against it. Inspired, Hiro begins brainstorming, but at first, his mind is blank. Tadashi encourages him to look at things from a different angle. Then, Hiro suddenly gets a brilliant idea when he looks at his small robot. For weeks, Hiro works day and night in their garage, which serves as his private lab. Eventually, he finishes his invention. With help from Tadashi and his friends, they transport it to the showcase event. At the event, Hiro steps onto the stage wearing a headband with neural sensors. He pulls a small robot piece from his pocket and shows it to the judges, who initially seem unimpressed. But then, the piece joins thousands of others just like it, forming complex shapes and structures based on Hiro's thoughts, transmitted through the neural interface. He demonstrates how the microbots can build anything he imagines and can even transport heavy objects easily. The audience is amazed and applauds loudly. Afterward, Hiro celebrates with Tadashi's friends, who've now become his own. Suddenly, a famous tech entrepreneur named Alistair appears. He's impressed and offers to buy Hiro's invention. Before Hiro can respond, Professor Robert intervenes and warns him that Alistair is selfish and doesn't care about scientific ethics. He only wants to profit. If Hiro sells the invention, it might be misused in dangerous ways. Hiro believes Robert and refuses to sell, despite the tempting offer. Robert then hands Hiro an acceptance letter to the university, making him incredibly happy. Outside the science fair, Tadashi tells Hiro how proud he is. But suddenly, a fire breaks out inside the building. Tadashi insists on going back inside to rescue Professor Robert, despite Hiro's pleas not to. Moments after Tadashi enters, the building explodes, killing both him and the professor, and leaving Hiro devastated and alone, having lost his parents and now his brother. After the funeral, Hiro falls into deep depression and isolates himself. He doesn't speak to anyone, doesn't eat or drink, and ignores calls from Tadashi's friends. Even the university he dreamed of no longer matters to him. He decides to return to robot battles. As Hiro picks up his robot to go fight, a piece drops on his foot, and he says, "Ouch." Immediately, Baymax activates, having heard the pain cue. He scans Hiro and finds no physical injury but detects emotional distress and signs of depression. Frustrated, Hiro tries to shut Baymax down and return him to his case but falls. Under the bed, he finds the jacket he wore during the science fair. In its pocket, he discovers a magnetic microbot piece. He thought they had all burned in the fire. He puts it in a bowl and notices it moves in a specific direction like a compass. Baymax, seeing Hiro's interest, offers to help. They follow the piece's direction, which leads them to a locked, abandoned warehouse. Hiro climbs over the fence and enters through a window, followed by Baymax, who deflates himself to fit through. Inside, they discover plans to mass-produce the microbots. As Baymax approaches them, they begin to move and swarm aggressively. A masked figure appears, and Hiro grabs Baymax's hand to escape just in time. Back home, Baymax recharges. When he wakes, he asks about Tadashi and senses Hiro's grief. He tells Hiro that the first step to recovery is reconnecting with his friends. Hiro agrees. He begins connecting the dots and realizes the fire might not have been accidental. Maybe the masked figure started it to steal the microbots. Determined, Hiro heads to the garage and starts upgrading Baymax for battle instead of healing. He loads combat training programs and equips Baymax with a powerful armored suit. Now ready for battle, they return to the warehouse. On the way, they're followed by a suspicious car. At the site, the microbots are gone, and the tracker leads them to a nearby lake. Suddenly, the masked figure emerges from the water. Hiro and Baymax hide. The car behind them stops, and out come Tadashi's friends, who were worried about Hiro. The masked man attacks from above, throwing a shipping container. Baymax catches it just in time. They flee, and Hiro explains everything to the group. Baymax, having scanned the masked man, now has his medical data. The villain launches microbots at them again, entangling the car. They barely escape but fall into the water. Baymax saves them thanks to his inflatable body. They retreat to the mansion of Fred, one of Tadashi's eccentric friends. Inside, they're amazed by the lavish estate. Hiro explains that they need a plan to capture the villain. He draws the logo he saw on the villain's equipment. Fred suspects the masked man is Alistair, trying to steal the invention after Hiro rejected his offer. But Hiro needs more proof. Baymax reveals he has a complete health scan of the masked man. Hiro devises a plan. Baymax will scan the entire city to locate the man using his medical signature. But they need to upgrade Baymax's sensors. The team works together, crafting superhero-style suits and training in Fred's mansion using his robot butler as a target. Finally, Hiro presents the upgraded Baymax. He now has wings, a magnetic saddle for Hiro to ride safely, and a powerful rocket punch. After a few tries, Baymax masters flying and scans the city. He locates the masked man on a nearby island. The group flies there, enters a large building, and cautiously explores. They hear a noise, activate their weapons, but it turns out to be a pigeon. In a destroyed control room, Hiro plays a video showing Alistair pitching a teleportation project to investors. A woman named Abigail volunteers to test it. But once she enters, the portal malfunctions and collapses, and she's lost. The group concludes that Alistair must be the masked man. Suddenly, the masked villain attacks with a massive boulder. They fight back, aiming to remove his mask. Each of Hiro's friends tries and fails. Finally, Hiro arrives flying on Baymax, grabs the mask, and the shocking truth is revealed. The masked man is Professor Robert. He confesses that he survived the explosion by hiding within the microbots. Hiro is devastated, realizing his brother died saving a man who didn't even try to escape. Hiro, filled with rage, orders Baymax to destroy Robert. Baymax refuses, as he's not programmed to harm. Hiro replaces his chip with the combat chip, and Baymax attacks. His friends intervene, stopping Baymax. Robert retrieves his mask and escapes with the microbots. Honey Lemon restores Baymax's original chip. Baymax shows Hiro a video of Tadashi, who worked endlessly on him. Seeing his brother's joy and passion for helping others, Hiro breaks down and apologizes. Later, the group finds a USB with data about Abigail. She's revealed to be Robert's daughter. After her disappearance, he blamed Alistair and became the masked villain to get revenge. At a tech expo hosted by Alistair, Robert attacks and captures him, blaming him for Abigail's loss. He uses the microbots to rebuild the teleportation portal and prepares to send Alistair through it. At the last second, Hiro and his friends arrive to stop him. Robert fights them. A hit from him pushes Hiro toward the portal, and the microbots trap the team. Hiro yells at them to destroy the microbots. Baymax rescues Hiro, the team breaks free, and they launch a united counterattack. Their plan is for Hiro to distract Robert while the others destroy the bots. They succeed. Baymax crushes the mask, ending Robert's control. The portal sucks in all the microbots. As they flee, Alistair warns that the portal is unstable and will collapse. Baymax detects life inside. It's Abigail. Hiro decides to rescue her with Baymax. Inside the portal's void, they find Abigail's capsule. As they escape, a collision damages Baymax. He decides to sacrifice himself, launching the capsule back through the portal using his rocket punch. Hiro and Abigail make it out just before the portal collapses, while Baymax drifts away in space. Abigail is taken to the hospital. Robert is arrested. Weeks later, Hiro prepares to start university with his new friends. Looking at Baymax's fist, he finds the chip with Baymax's personality and memories. Overjoyed, he builds Baymax a new body and installs the chip. From that moment on, Hiro and Baymax become a superhero duo, protecting the city. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing movie recaps.